When you're playing Mario games, you usually don't come across many creepy or disturbing moments in them, which makes complete sense. Because after all, Super Mario is Nintendo's biggest franchise, and a large audience of that are young people, so yeah, obviously if they just started adding disturbing moments into them, they'd probably get a bit of backlash for that. So it makes complete sense that the Mario universe is basically all family friendly, but every once in a while there is a disturbing detail in the games, and today we're just going to be looking at 5 of those disturbing details in no particular order. Now the first game that has a disturbing moment is Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door, and that's actually right at the beginning of the game. At the beginning of the game, you start at this place called Rogguport, which is overall just a really strange place. And just by the atmosphere of it, it seems a bit more unsettling compared to the rest of the places in the Mario games. Also near the beginning of the game, you get robbed in this place and also see the Mafia arrest someone. So yeah, overall, it seems like a pretty dangerous city. But by far the strangest place about this city is that when you walk into this house, you find a dead toad on the ground. Well, at least the outline of it, and there's also a splatter of blood next to it, which is overall a really strange detail for a Mario game. And what makes this even more creepy is that around the city there are missing people posters, so yeah, this could be a potential missing person that's on one of those posters. Which overall just makes the spot a bit more disturbing and unsettling than it already was. And well, this was actually only in the Japanese release because, well, in the rest of the world when this game was internationally released, they actually switched this dead toad to actually just not be there. So yeah, in the international release of the game, there's no blood or any outline of dead bodies there, it's only in the Japanese release. But yeah, overall, it's just a really weird thing that you wouldn't expect to see in a Mario game usually. So yeah, let's move on to the number 4 spot. And the next spot on this list is once again in another Paper Mario game. And this time it's in the game Super Paper Mario. And well, when you go into this mansion, you find this weird girl called Mimi. And well, before you start the boss fight with her, she does something pretty weird. Yeah, for some reason she turns into a literal spider after snapping her neck, which is overall a pretty weird detail to be in a Mario game that you probably wouldn't see in another Mario game because, well, it was overall really strange to see. I also like that Mario just doesn't have a reaction to this at all, he just stays in this exact same position. Because, well, if someone snapped their neck and turned into a spider in front of me, I think I would have a bit more of a reaction than just standing there like Mario does. But yeah, this is just another really strange thing that happens in a Paper Mario game, and this isn't the last time you'll see a Paper Mario game on this list. But yeah, now let's move on to number 3. Now, Super Mario 64 is an extremely popular game and doesn't really have that many disturbing or unsettling moments in it, except for Big Boo's haunt. And if I have to be honest, this level doesn't really fit in with the rest of the game in my opinion, because overall it's a lot more unsettling than the rest of the game and overall just pretty weird. Like, just listen to the music of it. And yes, I do understand that this is supposed to be a ghost level, but how about we listen to Super Mario Galaxy's ghost level? Yeah, for some reason, Super Mario 64's music is just a lot more, like, unsettling compared to basically any other Mario game's music. And overall, basically everything about this level is just really dark and eerie looking. It also doesn't help when you step on the piano, it just tries to eat you for some reason. But yeah, overall, it's just a lot more eerie than basically any other level in this Mario game. So yeah, that's why I put it on this list. So yeah, now let's move on to number 2. And once again, we're going to be looking at a Paper Mario game, once again in Super Paper Mario. And well, this next disturbing moment actually takes place in the exact same area where this person turned into a spider, so yeah, that's just great. And well, right before that happens, you actually get into this room and become a slave. Yeah, you're forced to work and get these like items that with these other slaves that are also doing this exact same thing. There's also people next to you with like whips with you. If you try to escape, they will whip you. So yeah, overall just a really weird detail that you probably wouldn't expect to see in a Mario game. Because when you're playing Mario games, you usually don't expect to be enslaved and whipped. So yeah, overall, it's just a really weird thing that Nintendo decided to add to this Mario game. And it's overall really strange that they decided to add this in the first place. And what makes this even more weird is that right after you get out of this place, you have to fight this spider thing. So yeah, overall, this seems to be one of the worst places to go in any single Mario game, because not only do you have to fight this spider thing, you also get enslaved. But yeah, now let's move on to by far the most disturbing out of all of these, going to the number 1 spot. Now, Luigi's Mansion is obviously supposed to be a bit more unsettling and more eerie than the rest of the Mario games because, well, it is technically supposed to be a more scary game because, well, you are the Luigi's Mansion. But some parts of the Luigi's Mansion is just a bit more unsettling than the others, like the original death screen for Luigi. So yeah, for some reason, this was actually the original beta game over screen for Luigi's Mansion. Yeah, a bit disturbing to say the least because, well, just look at Luigi, look how weird he looks. And well, Nintendo must have thought the same thing because this was just a beta death screen and they never used it after this. And they changed it to a much more common, more normal for a Mario game death screen. So yeah, they didn't keep this disturbing, weird death screen, which overall was probably a pretty good decision for Nintendo to make. Because Nintendo probably saw that if they kept this in the game, they'd probably get a bit of backlash for that. So yeah, they ended up changing it to a much more calm game over screen. But yeah, out of these 5 disturbing moments in these Mario games, which is the most disturbing in your opinion? Comment that down below, and yeah, have a great Halloween.